Well, good morning for me. Good afternoon for both of you. We
Yeah.
have Ruben Salazar from iFinance Mortgage as well. But our special guest today, we welcome Jennifer Triana from Real Brokerage, coming to us all the way from New Orleans. Welcome.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Good.
That's
We're
great to
glad to
have you
have
here.
you. So today, as we talked a little bit pre-show, is the theme of this podcast is the mindset of a champion. What sets you apart? And its purpose is to get to know our realtor partners that are working so hard all around the country, as you are,
Yeah.
and to be able to send referrals to you, to be able to grow your notoriety and showcase your business. So we're going to launch right into it.
Let's do it.
And maybe you can tell us just a little bit, Jennifer, about how you got into real estate and why'd you do it?
Okay, so I've been doing this for 10 years. It all started back when my previous husband had wanted to flip houses and was like, one of us should become a realtor to catch the commission. And I was like, okay, so by one of us, you mean me. And I I hated him in the moment, but I was like, fine, I'll do it, whatever makes the money, because that's what drives me. Money for the kids, say no more. So I ended up getting my real estate license and I ended up taking off with military. That was like my primary focus. And so I just started hosting little VA seminars for them and finding ways to partner with lenders at the time to give back to them, help them with their balls, contribute funding for that, do different raffles and whatnot for them. And just educate them on the VA because so many of military service members always say like, "This isn't my forever home. I'm not going to buy here. That's dumb." And I'm like, "Okay, sure, guy. Let me talk to
Sure.
you.
Yeah,
Give me five
we've heard
minutes."
that before.
Yeah. So then you kind of fast forward a little bit. Obviously went through that divorce and I moved to North Carolina where I knew no one. I had one friend and I was like, we had done real estate in California together. She was like, come out here, live with me for a minute. So I pretty much played chess, not checkers with my life and
I
had
like that. That's
had
good.
already had my home under contract out there before I was like finishing off my divorce and stuff and took the kids. We went out there, started doing real estate out there, did the same thing, but this time we were getting involved with sorry, we were getting involved with the community. We were doing like women events, giving back to them and trying to just expand networking there. And that's where I met my now husband, who happens to also
Congrats.
be military. Thank you. And he ended up having to move to Virginia. And so I was like, well, I just got here, but what's another license? Let's do it. So we went to Virginia. I got another license there, had to learn all of that all over again. And because I had my partner in North Carolina, I'm like, cool, you're my boots on ground. I had partners in California, they're my boots on ground. And then I took off to Virginia. And once we went back to California to full circle it, I created partners where we might not necessarily be at the same brokerage, but we just help each other out. So that's how I do my business pretty much in a nutshell.
Yeah, I love Jen that you also referred yourself as the coast to coast realtor,
Always.
and truly you are.
Yeah.
I also remember because what a lot of people don't know the backstory was I call Jen my bonus daughter, and so I've known Jen a long time, and even further back, your dad was in real estate too, and I remember seeing his signs all up in our neighborhood and he was one of the top realtors in our area too. So you might have had it in your blood, and so you may have wanted to deny it at the time, but the fact
Inescapable.
is,
Yeah, I
yeah.
couldn't even escape it if I wanted to.
So your dad, I always remember seeing his signs out there, and he was one of the top realtors in Anaheim Hills. And
Yeah.
so it was always great seeing him. But really, you took the bull by the horn and went ahead into it full steam ahead.
Yeah, definitely. I do on all levels.
Yes, for sure. So
Yeah.
if you don't mind, can you share some of the market updates? You're in different markets, but just a couple of the markets that you're working
Yeah,
in
I
right
wrote
now.
them down because my mom brain doesn't keep up with myself. So I'm going to kind of gear it towards the military bases. When we're looking in California, most people are buying in Riverside County, San Diego County.
Mhm.
And right now it's still leaning towards a buyer side on the Riverside County, but it's starting to slowly shift to a seller side on the San Diego County. Average days of homes on market is about 42 to 63 days. If we switch over to North Carolina, Jacksonville, focusing on Camp Lejeune area, homes are about 63 days on the market. It's still kind of a
Wow.
buyer market, so buyers, now's your time.
Yeah.
Um,
Don't wait.
if, don't wait. If you're going into Quantico area, which is in Virginia, you have about, it's still competitive. It's a lot slower than last year was, but you're looking at about 51 to 54 days on market for it. So it's still slow, but I feel like that's kind of like the market that we're in, which
Yeah, it
isn't
almost
anything
seems,
foreign. It's just people are
yeah.
used to COVID, everything going fast and stuff. So now that we have to wait the normal time, people don't know how to respond because we've gone so long of having
Right,
to wait.
and if you really look at real estate, sometimes I say the market, it can go to 6 months. So we're still
Yeah,
not seeing that just yet. But
yeah.
you really specialize with a group of folks, and that's
Mhm.
your military. You want to speak to
Yes.
that a little bit?
Yeah, so I mean, it's hard. I'm going to say it honestly. It's hard because there's so many realtors. There's so many veterans that get out and then they become realtors. And here's the difference between when you work with, I'm going to say this as nice as possible,
Go
but
ahead.
I'm honest. When you work with a lot of service members that got out, there's a lot of sugarcoating and there's a lot of
Yeah.
gray areas. And so a lot
Yep.
of times these people kind of get screwed over. And I'm going to give a prime example. I'm not going to mention names. The agent that helped the clients that bought my home in California, not once had ever met them. Okay, veteran, never met them, was also paying for another agent to help. And then on top of that, even though I was giving a lower commission because we were breaking even on this home at this time. So I'm like, hey, this is what it is, 2%, no big deal. On top of that 2%, he charged the buyers another $7,500 for his commission. And this is why
Oh,
I always say to people, like, do your research. If you've never met your realtor, that's also like not even in, and I get it because a lot of mine don't meet me either, but feel the energy. If they're not answering you back, if they're not guiding you in ways, you shouldn't have to pay commission. So that's kind of the side of like working with military and it's just like you can't express your work ethic. It's one of those things like they just have to see it. And because I'm a spouse, I understand the lingo, I understand the timelines, I understand things get pushed back. There's a lot of hurry up and wait. I understand what documents we need to get. I understand a lot of the loophole things, and so do the service members. But again, I'm reading every line to make sure you're covered versus they're skimming, I'm reading through, and that's the difference of results that you're going to get. I had another service member, not my deal, but bought the home, and his realtor that he chose to go with told him not to get home warranty. Then not even a year later, guess what broke? His HVAC system. So then
oh,
it's a hefty bill he had to pay to have everything fixed and replaced. And it's like the little things that add up. And it's when people just go with, oh, well, my dad's uncle's dog is a realtor, like use him, you know?
woof.
It's so
Exactly.
it's infuriating, truthfully. I mean, I
Yeah.
And
can't really
I heard when you use dogs, it's really rough.
yeah, it really is rough. It's just
Ba-dum-bum.
so rough.
So, but knowing you as well, I know that you go above and beyond for you. That I know for an absolute fact.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about when you were having your son, what you were doing on your phone? You
Mm.
were helping someone
Okay,
at
let me
Feel a
closing.
good
backtrack.
story
Let
coming
me
on.
backtrack
I,
to defend
th- th-
myself. Okay,
th-
so I was
and
like
you don't have to
very
defend yourself. I'm just saying,
okay. I guess
I get a
let me
cold and I don't want to talk to people. So,
backtrack. Okay, so I let's backtrack a little. I got up to use the restroom. I had never, this is my third kid, never had my water break. So when I walked back to the bed, my water broke and I was like, I think I just pissed myself. But I was like, let's just wait it out and see. So I'm like, I know we don't have a lot of time. I was like, okay, nope, go time, let's go. Don't forget my laptop. I have a closing today, is what I told my husband as we rushed out the door. Don't forget my laptop. And so he grabbed it. I went to the hospital, gave birth at 6 a.m. Just a little before 6 a.m. By 10 a.m., I was closing a client. By 11, I had a friend contact me. Didn't know I just had a baby. He said, hey, I got a client. It's a referral. She wants to sell her house. Cool. Give me your number. On the phone, baby asleep, husband asleep. And here I am hours after birth calling, and I secured that listing and I sold her home. So, I mean,
Wow.
That's going above and beyond, like I
yeah.
said, if, us men, if we have a cold, which is
Oh,
similar to having birth, we
Oh
know
yeah,
that as
yeah,
men, we
totally.
oh,
know that. And
oh, of
so,
course.
so we know how it is. But yeah, I mean, you just jumped all over that. But, it just shows you that you made yourself available, which is really the difference when you see most realtors today. There are some that are just in it. And
Yeah,
you're in it to be there to support not only your clients, but your family and everything. It's
yeah,
awesome.
yeah. And
Yeah,
that's what I mean by
that's
work
awesome.
ethic. You can't explain that. Like I can share that story, but people don't truly realize that. It's like I work with clients that are coming from out of the country, and I've stayed up late to make sure that their offer got out, or I'm up early to match their timelines. And my clients see it, but like the people that may be friends or witnessing stuff that I post, they don't see that. They don't see that work ethic behind it.
Right. I resonate with that because I also work with a group of a couple groups of Israeli investors, 9, 10 hour time difference from California.
Yeah,
And we're up, I'm up at 3 in the morning while they're trying to get things done sometimes, and
yeah.
especially during signings. And it's a real
It's
thing
hard.
when they see your diligence,
Yeah,
your ability to work with their schedule, these folks, because they're looking for people to trust here.
yeah.
And once they find that trusted advisor, that trusted
Oh,
friend
they're
they
gonna go with
become,
you. Yeah,
they're you know they're with you the whole time for life. And
yeah.
no, that's great. And
Amazing.
right behind your wall, can you just lower that again? Just let us see that again.
Oh,
Look at that.
yeah.
So no,
No
did you
limit,
say
Savage Warrior.
yes, yes? um what does that mean to you? How did that come about? That's intriguing.
Okay, so it started a while ago, and I had did a retreat with Lauren, Ruben's daughter. That's my best friend. And so I kind of just adapted into warrior and like learning more about myself and like my worth and all those kinds of things. And people would always just say like, gosh, that was so savage. Like some of the things that I would
Hmm.
say, how quick I am to respond, stuff like that. So then I kind of incorporated that. The no limit is because there is no limit for me. Whatever I want, I'm gonna go get it. I mean, obviously I can't get every client, but you know what I mean? Like
We
I'm
do.
very driven. So when I have a goal and I want it and I get the blueprint, I take off 100 miles an hour until I get it.
Relentless pursuit.
Yes, I'm very relentless. So I was like, no limit, Savage Warrior, and it's just stuck with me for a long time.
I love that. And I think it's given me some ideas possibly for another type of a podcast. And we'll
Yeah,
talk to you about that
yeah.
afterwards.
Okay.
Um, Leading into, warrior, savage warrior, no limits. It reminds me of that mindset of a champion.
Yeah.
And we're interested to find, we can see based on everything you've shared so far, you have that mindset. But how does having the mindset of a champion, how does that affect your daily routine? So if you kind of walk us through, like, what are you doing on a daily routine that shows that winning champion mindset?
Simply put as a chaos coordinator because it's really like unhinged and feral, but I'm here for it. I spend a lot of my days kind of doing the similar things. It's like I get up at 5. I used to get up at 4, but age has hit me a little bit harder, so it's 5 now. But I get the kids, my son's lunch packed, my husband's lunch packed, send them off. I work out, depending on the day, then I have to run to speech therapy. And then I'll usually go do cardio after at the gym, let my son get out and, play with friends. And then it depends on what I have going on with clients. I'll either have calls or I'm working on marketing. I try to content batch create so I don't have to do it every day. I have a lot of stuff kind of organized like in Asana, and that I can just kind of go down a checklist and make sure all my stuff is aligned. And then when we get to the evening, it's like nap time is my mommy Olympics. That's where I try to knock out everything that I can. Which right now I'm losing. I can see him awake still on the monitor, but that's okay. That's what it's here for, the unhinged chaos. But depending on the season, like right now we're in soccer season, so we'll have after school sports, lunch, meal preps. It just depends on the day, but I feel like it's constantly go, go, go. And today's one of those go, go, go days. Like literally before I got on this call, I was rushing to get my toddler to nap and he wants to throw his Mickey up to the stairs and I'm like, hurry up. Let's go. So
Wow. Well,
it's a lot to balance two different businesses and they're
yeah,
two different extremes.
right. And, businesses and, and family, of course. And
Yeah.
that's just, the mindset of a champion really, I think most people's minds go to like sports heroes and things like that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, they were a champion. One of my favorites was always Kobe Bryant. I
Oh,
love Kobe, his work ethic, and there's others too, but Kobe's work ethic. And I used to see him at the gym over here, not too far from us in
yeah.
Irvine. 4 a.m. I heard he was there because I was never there
Yeah.
that early, but he would start before everybody else. He would end before everybody else.
Yeah.
And it's about the journey.
It
He
is.
always talked about the journey, not so much the championship, which is the icing on the cake, but it was the journey that led there. It was
Yeah.
the champion mindset. Every morning he showed up. He repeated the same things over and over, and the success just followed it.
Yeah.
And, we think of athletes, but moms are the biggest champions uh, who have that winning mindset because of all the things you're juggling.
Yeah.
Like
A
Ruben
lot.
said, we get a cold, the husband gets a cold, and we can't
Yeah.
function. We're down for the
That's
count.
it. We're
Yeah.
Meantime,
done.
the wife may not feel good either, and she's juggling everything and trying.
Yeah.
So, hats off to you, caring for your family, your husband, and your kiddos, and
Yeah.
that's amazing. Really is.
Yeah, and I always feel that probably the hardest job on the planet is actually being a mom because you got to be there for everything.
Yeah.
And so what I really hear too with the mindset of a champion is that you're very well organized. And I know this for a fact that you're very well organized. So, you have control chaos at least with
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
And so that really is what's really important that I can see that you're doing is everything you have the time set that you're doing and you might change a little bit, but you do that.
Yeah.
Now, the past year for real estate hasn't been the best. Now, arguably, some are saying, NAR stats saying that about 70% of realtors did not sell one house last year. Now, there's an argument going on with that, but even say if it was 50%, the thing is, there's a lot of realtors that didn't, aren't making the turn. Realtors are quitting, loan officers are quitting. You've been in this business a long time. So what pivots or adjustments have you done as you've seen some of these challenges to overcome?
So I mean, I guess it's kind of just like for me, it's like budgeting for it, factoring in those down plays. I mean, I do kind of luck out because it's not like I'm a single mom and a realtor. I have a husband that has the steady income. But we've also utilized the VA loan to invest and have rental properties that also bring in income. We've sold homes that have brought in income. So we've all had other ways to play with it. And now doing the fitness stuff that also brings in more income. So it's just kind of being strategic about it and buying where we can, renting out where we should. I mean, obviously, sometimes that's not the case. I will not be a landlord in California, but it's just kind of pivoting in that way because there are times that you don't make money and you don't have a sale because it is so competitive. And being in California, it was extremely competitive. So I already knew then my business was going to kind of hurt because of how competitive it was. And then when I finally narrowed down something to make me stand out, it was time for us to leave. So everything I created in marketing for it is kind of like useless until I guess recreate it. But I'm not doing that here, so it's just collecting dust. But it's just hard. You just have to learn to pivot and accept that and be prepared for times like this when you don't have deals. And I think what's not really spread or spoken of is referrals. People don't realize that like, hey, if I refer you out and I give you my cousin, my sister, my friend, that you can make money off of it. Or let's just say you're my client and you're moving to a state that I'm not licensed in. If you come to me, I can refer you out to someone that helps put money on my table so that you still you wanted to use me and I'm still here to help regardless, but at least I can refer you so you're with a realtor that's not wasting your time and I still get money off of that. I think that's something people don't talk about and a lot of
Hmm.
clients don't know that, and so they just go hire whoever they want and then they have a mediocre experience and wonder why, and it's like, well, you didn't do the right research, you weren't asking the right questions, you didn't know what to ask, you didn't know what cues to look for to know that they're BSing you. And so I feel like having that right network and the right knowledge to your clients will help you succeed in that level.
Yeah, that's great. Brian Buffini's made a whole business about really referring. He
Yeah.
always says, "Hey, I'm never too busy for a referral." And one of the things that, especially you do a great job. If you're a great realtor, one of the things is that's the cheapest marketing. Just be good
Yeah.
at it, and then you want to get raving fans. So what you hit is perfect because really it doesn't cost much to get that referral. Your marketing is just doing a good job.
Yeah.
And so people forget to stay in touch with their clients and go back and touch them and make sure, hey, I'm thinking of you and all that. And so that's super important. I think you've hit it right on the head is that a lot of people don't focus on the referrals. They're looking at new business, but sometimes the new business is there because I always say you don't know who they know. And
Yeah.
that's really the most
Yeah.
important thing.
Yeah. And nurturing them, follow up with
Absolutely.
them,
Yeah.
send them mailers, do all that kind of stuff, which I know I'm not the best at that, but I have been doing that. And I'll be honest, I did kind of fall off once I started navigating this fitness stuff, but that is a crucial part. I have clients come back like, hey, remember you helped me this year with this house? And it's like, yeah, what do you need?
Yeah,
and
absolutely. Yeah,
and
go
that's a
ahead.
whole
Yes, sir.
nother. Oh, go ahead,
Yeah,
Ruben.
Yeah, one of the things that I always find it's I have a real estate mentor that always said consider it farming. So you
yep,
think of a farmer. So a farmer is always going out there, taking care of the land, putting the seed in, watering,
yep,
fertilizing, doing all that. Because if you're a hunter, you only have one killed and that's it. But if you're a farmer and you're taking care of the land and that's really your clients,
yeah,
taking care of them in different fashions and just reaching out and touching. And I think that's basically what you're saying is really doing that, just farming.
yeah, yeah,
That's a great analogy, and you know, in our business, responsiveness is so important
yeah,
because those that are just maybe looking on Google searches or whatever, they're
yeah,
gonna they're gonna if the first person that answers the phone is usually the person they're gonna go
yeah,
with
yeah. They
and
don't
try to build a
interview.
relationship with.
Yeah,
And I think that's, it all comes down to having the right team, having the right group of people, so that when, for instance, when Ruben and I receive a referral, I mean, it's perhaps minutes or less that
yeah,
we're on that phone calling that person saying, hey, just wanted to introduce ourselves. Jennifer, our realtor partner, speaks very highly of you and wanted us to give you a call to help answer any questions you may have
yeah,
about the home buying process. How can
yeah,
we help? And that is very, very fast. And
yeah,
then what we do from there, if you're not on the call with us, because usually we like to have you on
yeah,
the call if you're able to be there, then we come right back and say, okay, here's what we've done. We're getting them pre-approved. We sent them the checklist and the application. We're ready to go.
yeah.
But responsiveness
Oh,
is
it's
part
key.
of a champion's mindset.
It's so key. If people don't get that response, they're on to the next
Yeah,
quickly. And I
that's
don't blame
as
them.
they should. We're in
Yeah,
a,
Yeah.
we're in a we're in an immediate
yeah,
world.
yeah,
Everything's at our
I'm just
fingertips.
thinking of what you just said, Jen, that you were at the hospital and you just had a baby and you're there answering the phone. You could have said, you know what, I deserve a day off. This
yeah.
has been this has
No.
been kind of busy. But yet you did do that. And what happened? You actually were able to help a family get a
Yeah,
house because you answered the phone. So
yeah.
that's really amazing. That's really part of it is at least letting someone, by talking to them, at least let them know you care, even if you can't talk to them for very much at the
Oh,
time,
yeah,
but at least you took care of them right away. And then they understood, hey,
yeah,
you just had a baby, so let's see what we can do. But
yeah,
that's exactly it.
yeah.
That's fantastic. Well, we have one final question for you. Up to this point, it is clear that you have the mindset of a champion and a warrior. Your relentless pursuit of helping families to that American dream of home ownership. is very clear. The last question is, what advice would you have for perhaps a new realtor who's thinking about jumping into the business, or perhaps those that have been in for a while and maybe they're struggling a little bit? What
Yeah.
advice would you have for them to be successful?
My advice would be have a strong backbone because this industry is not for the weak. It can be very cutthroat. It'll eat you up and swallow you like whole. If you're new, just be prepared that your family is not going to use you. They're going to use someone else. And I mean, that's the truth. And be prepared to lose clients because you will waste time with clients and then they'll drop you like a hot tamale and use someone else. So it's inevitable and it stings the first time, but then after a while you learn to be like, you know what? I was getting annoyed with them anyways. You learn to just roll it off your shoulders and cut your losses because I mean, for me, it's like I've had clients where I've wanted to, oh, I guess this would be a better advice. Remember that as a realtor, you have the right to fire your clients too. Like I've had clients where I'm like, oh my gosh, no wonder, I mean, no offense, but no wonder you guys are getting divorced. Like you guys are, I want to fire you. If a referral wasn't tied to that, I would have fired them. But it is okay to fire them, have a backbone, and make the most of it. Do things that stand out, not what everyone else is doing.
I love that. That is so good. And what it does is it prepares people with the right expectations,
Yeah,
right? You're going to have no's, a lot of no's that lead up to yes.
yeah,
And you just keep going. It's the relent. I love that
yeah,
relentless pursuit of anything we do.
yeah,
Prospecting, follow up, responsiveness, answer your phones. Oh my
yeah,
goodness. That's a whole nother podcast. I
yes.
Yeah, for
cannot
sure.
deal with people that will not answer their phones,
Oh, it drives me nuts.
right? They'll text you super fast back and forth, but they won't pick up their phone and they won't
Mhm.
say, you know what, I'm in an appointment right now. I
Yeah,
can't
just
answer my phone.
something, just
They just
something.
won't pick up the phone
Yeah.
when you could have
And
solved it
so
in
many
10
realtors do that.
seconds.
Yeah.
They
And people
do.
don't realize as like the client how many deals you're losing out on because your agent won't pick up their phone. It drives me nuts.
Yeah,
It's just
it
crazy,
just,
isn't it?
I don't get it. Well, uh, Jennifer or Jen, as Ruben refers to you, we are so
Yeah.
grateful to have had you on our podcast today. The
Thank you.
mindset of a champion. We know what sets you apart. There's no one else like you that is caring for their clients, that is working hard, right behind pushing, making sure their clients are educated, that they get the best deals, that they're protected. And no wonder why you are a
Yeah.
champion. So we're glad to have you with us today.
Thank you. I enjoyed it. I appreciate it.
Thank you for being on.